Hiya folks, here we are on part 2 of our do-it-yourself homemade powder coating oven build. See you in a minute. Right, well, I've had the powder coating chap come round. He gave me an exclusive demonstration yesterday on how the system works. It's absolutely fantastic, and I can't wait to bring that to you. But first of all, we've got to build this powder coating oven. And as you know from part 1, we stripped out the old cooker which I brought especially for this job. And now I've got to try and make a powder coating oven out of this. I want to insulate it, as I said to you before. So I bought some sheet steel and I bought some insulation. And I'm going to go outside now and start cutting some panels up. So let's put you on time lapse for that. I'll see you in a second. Right, okay, that's the first bit cut. Yeah, it's going to go in all right. Don't forget I'm going to insulate in between the back and also there as well. And that panel, as you probably remembered, which I was going to put on the roof, which was the shelf, I've got to actually not sandblast it. I've actually got to get the paint off of that, or this sort of material it's covered with. I think it's actually powder coated. I've tried some paint remover, chemical paint remover, but that's not actually touched it. So I might have to get the blow lamp out and actually heat it up and do that. So let's go and have a look at that. Right, so this is the shelf unit which I'm going to be using for the roof. And I don't know whether you can see or not there, but I've actually tried to put some paint stripper on. It didn't actually touch it whatsoever. So I'm going to try it with a blowtorch now. And I don't know how much gas I've got here, but let's give it a go anyway. See if it comes off. Right, so let's have a look. Well, as you can see, that comes off all right. My fear was that it would distort, but it appears to be okay. Just turn it around a bit. And as you can see on the inside as well, look, it actually takes the inside off as well. So this is powder coating, it's very tough, so I'll have to spend some time doing this. You don't really want to watch that, so I'll see you in a while. Right, well, burning was taking it too long, so what I decided to do was to get the flappy disc out on the grinding wheel, grind it off. It's so much easier. But then I had a little thought to myself, well, this is powder coating, so technically speaking this should be able to take the temperature of the powder coating oven. So I will take it off anyway because I've made the start now, and as you see I've done this little half there in literally no time whatsoever using this. So I'll just put you on a quick bit of time lapse just to see how easy it comes off, and I'll see you in a minute. Right, well that took some grinding, but we got a bit noisy. We got there in the end. As you can see, I've got most of it off there, and I also took it off the back side and the edges as well. So that now should be ready for me to insulate and put up to the actual roof line. So if I just put that there for a minute. This is what I bought for insulation. It's called Rockwool, and it's a roof insulation, but it's not that stuff that where you go out into a loft and it gets fiberglass all in you and you're itching for days and days. This isn't like that. It's sound absorbent and it's also fire resistant. Let me show you. There we go there. So fire resistant was the main thing I was actually interested in. I'm not too bothered about this sound absorption because powder coating doesn't make any noise. So I've had to buy it in a big roll like this, and as you can probably see, I just have to cut it off to length basically. So let me undo this and we'll pack that unit there with the insulation. Right, that's it. I'm well pleased with that. As you can see, nicely insulated now. And that should go straight up there. Look at that. That'll make a lovely lid. So what I've got to do now is drill 4 holes and put some long bolts through. I think if I lay it on its back, it'll be a bit easier for me to reach to drilling. So let me do that. Alright, okay, bear with me. That's a bit better. Yeah, that's a lot better. That's going to go like that. And that's very good, very nice. What I'll do, I'll bolt through both sides here, top and bottom, and I'll put a bracing bar along the back so that heavy stuff I'll be able to hang without just putting any pressure on this sort of thing. So I'm going to fix this in, I'll see you in a minute. Okay then, so as you can probably see here, screwing this back now, down this edge and also down the middle, because that's where I've got the seams on the actual filing cabinet. So, and one great thing is I'm able to recycle these little screws I told you about in the last video. So all the screws I've taken out of the oven, I would have had to have bought them, but I don't need to because they're working in here. So let's just show you how I'm just screwing this back and then I'll carry on and finish it off. Right, okay, let's show you. There's the top of the back, which is now, I've screwed down that side now. I'm just working my way down the middle now, and as you can see, I haven't lost really any space whatsoever in this cabinet, and it's also insulated, so when you come to touch the outside, it won't be hot. Happy days. I'm going to carry on. I'll see you after I finish this bit. Oh, that's great. Look at that. Top, back, insulated. I'm well happy with that. Right, okay, what you probably see here now is when I lay the sheet in here, I'm going to use this as a support rail here, which is okay, but I've got nothing this end. So what I've done, I've actually pop riveted these little brackets on here, as you can probably see. Through these holes here, these are slots already there. I've just elongated or enlarged the hole there, and that pop rivet, for example, will go in there like that, straight on there like that. Put that in place, okay, like that, and then just close it up. And as you can see now, that gives me my support for this side of the thing to hang on, and I can screw through there. So I'm just going to carry on doing that, get the insulation in there on this one, and we should have a good insulated box. Then I can start putting the stuff inside. I've still got to do the doors. I've got to get some more sheet metal for that, so I'll see you in a minute. Okay then, I've been doing a bit more. As you can probably see, I've got the elements in and fitted now. I was running a bit short of this 1mm sheeting, metal sheeting. I've had to join a couple of bits on the deck. I haven't screwed the bottom down properly yet, but just to show you what I've done so far. So as you can probably see now, I've fixed the elements through the back there. That's how they would have been fixed in the actual cooker itself. And this one, as you can probably see, I've bolted this one down through the base there, and I've got insulation down there. But yeah, as you can see, the elements sitting off the surface there. If I wanted to, I could put a little ceramic block underneath there just to sit in between there. I may even do that. I've got some little ceramic cable connectors which I could just stick one under the middle there. That would be ideal, just to keep that up there and stop it flapping about. Not that it is flapping about. This one here, as you can see, I haven't screwed this down yet, and this one's actually got some legs on it as well. If you can probably see there, look, when I pull this down, that will be off the surface as well. So I've not bolted this side down yet. As you can see, I've bolted through there, through the insulation, through the base of the unit, and that's solid now. And as I say, I'm just using up odds and ends now. But yeah, that's going to be great. So I'll take you around the back now and show you the connections on the other side, just as it would be in a normal cooker. Right, okay, here's the back of the cooker, and you can probably see the terminations come straight through there. This is the insulated part there. This is as they would have been in the actual cooker as well, with a hole drilled. You can see the insulation in there. That's the insulation around the actual conductor. That's the ceramic around the conductor, and the actual conductor is right in the middle where the terminal is. So they're sitting there exactly as they would have done coming into the cooker. I've got the earth going through there as well. The ground, there's the 2 bolts that fix it on. Exactly the same with this one. As I say, there's no touching at all there of anything there. Those are the bolts, solid, everything's solid as you can see. That's exactly as it was fitted in the cooker. The wiring, as you can see, is coming down the back there. I've got to obviously run the channel probably down the middle there and extend this wiring. Lucky enough, as I say, I've kept everything together, but there might be enough there because someone's cable tied these when they put them in the oven. So I'm going to undo these cable ties as and when. And the light fittings, I'll probably put one in there, maybe in the centre there, and one in the centre there, and they should go straight in there. The control panel, which I can't see at the moment, sitting on the top, I've got to fix that on there. But this plate here, as you can see, I'll just screw that to the roof, so I haven't got to touch anything on the control panel there. Everything's going to be as it was, so I'm happy with that. So everything here is going really well. I've got the doors, let me show you. These doors obviously have got to be insulated. I want to try and get a piece of glass in one of these doors, but they're just going to literally click back in like this. There we go. It's going to be a nice little oven, isn't it? Happy days. Doors shut nicely there. But yeah, I'm well pleased with it. Hope you're enjoying this series so far. And it's a national holiday here in the UK, so I can't actually go out and get the supplies I need for the doors, the extra steel I need for that. So I'm going to have to leave this video here, and I promise you that in the next video of the powder coating oven we'll have it finished, and we'll also be doing our first bit of powder coating. So don't forget, tune in and have a look at my other videos in my playlist there. I've got loads of stuff. If you like this sort of restoration stuff and messing about, basically this is what I do in my day-to-day life. Thanks very much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video, and until then, bye for now.